It's so great to see you.
Great to see you.
Thanks for being here in person.
Yeah, man, this is exciting. I haven't done a talk show in person for literally years.
It's been years.
Yeah.
So you know what's interesting? We're playing the True Confessions game, and then we're telling lies and all this stuff. And then I just happened to mention that you once fought Boom Boom Mancini in the ring.
Well, I didn't fight him. We sparred for a second.
That counts, dude. We went to commercial, and Questlove goes, "Come here for a second." He goes, "Did he fight? Did you say he fought Boom Boom? Wait, explain it. This is real."
It was this gym in Santa Monica that a friend of mine had.
Yeah.
And it was actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, it was owned by Bob Dylan.
Yeah, you can.
And
say
it was
exactly.
underneath a synagogue.
Bob Dylan.
It was a boxing gym underneath a
story.
synagogue, and a lot of actors went there. David Duchovny went there, and Pete Berg, and Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling.
And
But then, would you
who was like a really good boxer, by the way.
Did you ever see like anyone fight Bob Dylan?
I feel like Gary got in the ring with Dylan. I think he did. But
Should have been the story.
No, this is a movie.
it's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It was a great place.
So
it was
did you
really
go
fun.
in thinking that you would fight Bob Dylan?
No. I went in being afraid that I'd run into Bob Dylan.
Yeah, just nervous.
Yeah, it was Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
so I passed him in the hall once, and I just sort of kept my head down.
Yeah,
but it was,
of course.
and
and then you get in the ring.
Yeah, and then get in the ring, and then one day
You're hoping
boom,
to fight a comedian, maybe.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Boom Boom Mancini was there, and he was like, "Hey, come on, get him in the ring." So we like went a little bit, and he was really very nice, and he didn't give me any headshot because I'm not a boxer. I do it to like work out.
Of course.
But the second you get like a little tap in the nose, I just like want to cry and go to my mommy and go home.
Yeah, exactly. You go, "No, I'm a comedian, please. I don't do this. I'm just doing this for fun, workout."
Yeah, but it was an amazing. I mean, an amazing place.
You're a sport. I see you go to the Knick game. I see you at the Knick games.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you like the Olympics?
I did. I do. I do like the Olympics. I have a little bit of a. I resist the Olympics every time they come around. A little bit, just because it's so much. It's such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think when they started to change the schedule, it used to be every 4 years back in like the 70s and the 80s. It was every 4, and then at some point it became every 2 years.
Yeah.
Like they started to, and then it got me confused because it felt like
it's like the TV
Olympics
show, like a Real Housewives or something. You go, one ends, another begins.
It was always either the Olympics were about to begin or about to end, and it took me 10 years to figure out that they were every 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of like, it's always like so, like I feel like I'm gonna just live my life. I'm not gonna get into this because I got too much going on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's just ubiquitous. And, inevitably, I get pulled in because I'm, like, sitting in bed at 11:30 at night. And, all of a sudden, I'm there. And for, in 15 minutes, I'm just, like, obsessed with men's slope-style snowboard. And, I have just this deep institutional knowledge, and I'm emotionally involved.
And you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, and my wife will come in and say, like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, my God. Red Gerard just nailed his 1620 switch backside." And then
Red Gerard!
Yeah.
Yes!
And then the judge then the judge, McMorris does it again. He does the same trick and the judge gives McMorris a higher score. When is the IOC going to clamp down on the International Ski Federation and police the judging protocol so we can have fair and balanced judging?
That's exactly what I'm... Finally.
You know what I'm saying?
Finally.
But 20 minutes earlier, I didn't know what Red Gerard was. It could have been a Ben & Jerry's like flavor. And now I'm ready to go to the International Olympic Committee and fight for him.
Gerard.
Yes. Or the I got really deeply into women's monobob.
I didn't know that was a thing until after the Super Bowl. They're like, "And we're back with women's monobob."
Yes,
I go,
women's
I don't even know.
It's like a single bobsled, and two incredible stories. We double medaled, the U.S. double medal. We had a silver and a gold. Incredible stories. One, the silver medalist, I think her, Alana Myers
I feel like your
Taylor.
wife. I feel like your wife right now. Oh my God.
But she has an incredible story because she got COVID and she was quarantining in her room for like 7 or 8 days before and training in her room.
That's right.
And then like came out of her room like Superwoman and medaled. And then the gold medalist, she has an amazing story. She defected from Canada to come here and compete. She literally left her own country.
She's like,
yes.
I want to represent the U.S.
Yeah.
But I watch the Olympics and I go, this is great to watch because I would never do any of these.
No.
Maybe curling.
Yeah, well, curling, it feels like my brother-in-law could do it. I mean,
but how easy they make it look, right? They go, oh, I can do it.
But they are. I mean, it's almost like a joke because people talk about curling like a joke. But I don't understand. They've
come on
rooms.
the show and they've shown me that it's very difficult. Because
Yeah.
once you get the speed going, that's one thing. But then it's up to the team. You got to trust these people to sweep the speed up or slow it down or not sweep. It's to sweep or not sweep. That is the question. But I watched that Mono Bob, and I go, no way. No, I would never do anything.
Oh no, it's insanely scary, and they've got these shoes that have these teeth on them that dig into the ice.
I don't even do that. I wear ice skates that are like rubber ice skates if I go ice skating.
Yeah, I just get stressed out on ice.
But you are a sporty guy.
I do like sports. I love tennis. I'm a really big tennis.
Play?
I play a little bit, but I'm a huge Rafa Nadal fan. He just won the Australian Open.
He's unbelievable.
He just had the most incredible.
Nadal is unbelievable.
He just had the most incredible comeback of all time.
Yeah, I watched
at the Australian Open. Amazing. And I got to know him a little bit about 7 or 8 years ago because we were at a tournament and we ran into his people and then we got introduced. So we sort of stayed in touch. And he invited me a few years back to see an exhibition match at Madison Square Garden, which was really exciting because it was, because, it's, first of all, it's the Garden, so it's, that electric atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you don't see tennis there that often. And we got to sit in the front row, and it was him and Juan Martín del Potro, who's another amazing Argentinian player. And they're doing the match, and about halfway through the match, Nadal stops and he goes, "Wait, should we make it doubles?" That's my Nadal impression.
It's not bad.
It's not very good. And then he turns.
It's the first time anyone's done a Rafa Nadal.
Yeah, and he said doubles, and then he looks at me and he goes, "Come on, Ben Stiller, come on," and he comes up to me and he pulls me out of the crowd.
No.
So, which is simultaneously like the greatest. I'm having it's like a dream come true to be in Madison Square Garden and people start cheering, and also it's this nightmare that's happening simultaneously. Because I realized I really don't play tennis.
Yeah, I don't want to do this in front
and
of everybody.
I'm dressed in street clothes. Usually I wear tennis shoes. Ironically, I'm wearing shoe boots, like leather shoe boots. So, and I got up there, and then Del Potro pulls. He goes, "Wait a minute, I must have a partner," and he pulls an 8-year-old girl out of the crowd. Like the cutest little 8-year-old girl, and and immediately I just died inside because I knew there was no way to get out of this thing alive because if I hit a winner on the 8-year-old girl, everybody hates me, and then I don't have enough skill to sort of to hold it back because I'm I'm all or nothing.
Yeah.
And so. So Nadal serves it. The 8-year-old girl hits it back perfectly across the net. The crowd cheers. Ah! Comes to me. Boom! Right into the net. Immediately, just all of Madison Square Garden. Oh. And basically, we play 4 more points every time. The girl hits it. They cheer every time. I went back into the net 4 times.
Oh my God.
And Del Potro puts the girl on his shoulders, and they're cheering, and she walks off. And then I didn't make eye contact with Nadal, my wife, anybody.
It was anyone in the crowd.
But the good thing that came out of this was that I resolved to become the best tennis player in the world.
And you're going to be.
Someday I will.
Yeah.
I started taking lessons it was like 6 years ago, and I started taking lessons, and so I'm ready if it ever happens in life that somebody pulls me out of the crowd to go play tennis with them, which probably won't ever happen again.
Yeah.
And the little girl, I want to rematch with her.
Well, I will say that
I do feel. Thank you. Yeah. I do feel like she was a ringer. I feel like she had abilities beyond her, what she seemed.
Yeah, and now you know what you're doing.
Yes, now I'm ready. I'm ready.
But is she more ready?
She's probably playing on the pro tour.
Sure. I want to talk about your show, Severance.
Okay.
When we come back, more with Ben Stiller when we come back, everybody.